What's up, Cowboy Nation? Want to be able to talk to you all, and for those who out there who looking at this NFL Combine as a end-all, be-all solution. And good morning to you all too. But I would say, please trust the tape. The tape will, the college tape will show you who's the outliers are. Now, I'm not dogging the NFL Combine, but the NFL Combine is designed for you to evaluate individuals in a this is what I see what they can do, and this is what I know that they can't run as it relates to the actual tape. It's like a verification process, meaning that this player can be able to actually run a sub 4.4 or a sub 4.5. It's not an end all be all. So that's what I'm saying when I say trust the college tape opposed to the NFL Combine. We already know about the Underwear Olympics. We know about those things. We know about people who perform well as relates to non-contact. The NFL Combine is a non-contact sport. It's a track meet designed so that players can display or showcase their skill sets. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. All we got to do now is look at this, answer the expectations of players. And with all that being said, it can happen. If you guys hear me brewing my coffee over here, I always like to wake up early in the morning, recap, revitalize my mind, my heart, my soul, my body, my spirit, with a little wake up juice. And that's what I'm doing. Trying to find the right cup too. There we go. Tear up the place too. I'm gonna put this right here, put that over here, and we'll use this cup. Best part of waking up. That one's old. Got the Keurig machine, and about to get to it. You know how it goes. Let's see if I can find my cup. Where is my cup? And I don't know why she put all this stuff here. And it's somewhere around here. Huh. Très bizarre. This is a good cup. Right or wrong? This is a good cup, right or wrong? Yeah, it's a damn good cup. Damn good cup. Huh. That's bizarre. Must be on this side. Huh. That's weird. You need to have a big cup. There she go. I'll settle for a small cup, man. Who impressed me so far in this wonderful track meet? I will say DK Metcalf. He impressed me. He's moved up on the board, and I can say to myself, well, I'll settle for this cup. It's a smaller cup. Let me show you guys what I'm doing over here so you guys won't think I'm just moving stuff around. Yes, indeed. So we got Pike roast, Pike Place roast. That goes there, and I'm gonna hit this button here, and now we're brewing. Now we're making magic happen, y'all. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I had a bigger cup, man, but I don't know where in the world is that. should have put it in this deal right here, huh? Tell y'all something, man. Get the body out, man. You want to live for a long time, stay young looking, stay good looking. Use this right here, flaxseed oil. It's good for your skin, your heart, your wellness. You got the omega 3s in there, essential fatty acids. And to get a good mixture of that, you always want to keep yourself looking smooth and everything. Get some vitamin E into your system. I need to re-up on that. And if you really up into like life, and you want to be able to eat like a king, and play around and still be running around like the players in this NFL combine. Take some of these, man. Cleanse yourself out. Do that about once a month. I guarantee you won't be overweight. But you got to put some work in at it as well. So you got to do that. And eating right is always a main course of action. Get you some of these little halos is what they call it. Do things like that. Yeah. Morning, Cowboys Crunk. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I woke up early this morning. I was like, man, let me just talk to you all about the combine, and don't get too high on players, and just know that it's underwear Olympics. But also you still look at it because it's good to have stats and stuff like that and what players can and can't do. But the 3-cone drill is amazing for cornerbacks, and also the wide receivers and running backs, because now you can know what they are in and out of their splits. And now you can figure out what they can do and what they can't do, things like that. Jalen Hurd, you have for him? Yeah. You know what I like? I like the underdogs. I like the player that from a school that nobody really heard of, and it's one thing for somebody to run like a 4.3 or 4.27 or jump out of the building, but it's another thing to know that you have a coaching staff that's able to rectify and make things happen. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. I like to see the underdogs, the small guys. Oh man, like Malcolm Herdman. He stepped up well. I still want to see that college tape. And really, to be honest with you all, I can't wait to see most of these guys go off the draft board, like the quarterbacks, the tight ends, who else I want to see go off the board? The positions that we don't really need, I want to see those guys go. And then I want to see some of their defensive guys fall to us. I want to see some safety fall to us. And I think today is what, the DB day? Well, what's today's date? The day is going to be the, let me see what we got right here. Where's my remote control? This remote control. Now it took me five hours to find there go my remote. Why this thing ain't turned it off? Turn on this TV right quick. Here she go. Tyler, Texas, what's up, man? There we go. There we go. I'm gonna go upstairs. That's what I'm gonna do. Over there, I'm gonna go upstairs and watch some of this combine review. Be right back, guys. Let's see. 6 p.m. Where you at? It's showing. Let me see it again. Hey, sweetheart. I'll be upstairs. Okay. All right. She still asleep?
Get my 30 minutes in.
All right, get it in. Get it in. Go upstairs and watch it, and just in case the little one wake up, she'll be running around downstairs. That's how you do that. Turn it to her favorite show. Kick a brother out to the man cave, right? Supposed to be my man cave, but I'm outnumbered. Outnumbered. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more better up here. Yeah. There's two types of free agencies, and I'm glad you mentioned that. The two types of free agencies that's going to be out here would be there are pre-draft free agencies, then there's post-draft free agencies. In the pre-draft free agency, the free agents are known to be overpriced, and this was the thing. Let me show y'all, man, up something. This is supposed to be my man cave, but on the flip side, it's been taken over by the little one. and she leaves it a mess because you got the ladders everywhere, the pillows everywhere, and she took over. It's supposed to be my man cave. So I got outnumbered for that. So I built a balcony on the outside. So hopefully around next year, well, by the season start, we will have that balcony going. We can have all our good stuff out there on the outside. Those are the two types of free agency. Now, I know everybody know that I'm a big, huge fan of safety play. Huge fan of Earl Thomas. A lot of people say, well, Law, Earl want $15 million. If I'm his scout, of course I'm going to say that. But I think that he knows for sure that the Cowboys don't have $15 million just laying around. He know that. He know that. So I don't think that he's going to get the $15 million, you know. They're doing the replays on NFL Network today. They're showing the Keyshawn Johnson. He's better than K-E-E Sean Johnson. You ran a 4.6 or 4.61. Yeah, Z Nation, man, that number will go down. It's not like a number that's going to stay forever. 3 years, 36 million, 20 million guaranteed. Cowboys crunk. Yeah. I was trying to tell people about the analogy of if you really want to win a Super Bowl, you got to go out and reach down into your pocket. You got to find ways to spend that money. That's the only way. You can't sit back and say, okay, with the people that we got, we trust our staff enough to get us there. There's only very few teams that don't use free agencies to win the Super Bowl. And That stuff was during it. There was during the early 200, the 2000, and the late 90s. Outside of that, you got to spend your money on some type of resources. Got to make moves to win. Yep, you got to make moves to win. The funny thing about winning is that I know we can say, man, we were close. We were close to get this done. We were close to make this happen. We were close to make that happen. It ain't gonna happen that way. Only way, the only way that this thing can happen, Cowboy Nation, if we go out there and we spend our money on the resources. That's the only way. And I wish I could make it in other terms, but that's the only way it can happen. You got to reach into your pocket. Now, this is the thing. If you reach into your pocket and you go too much in, then that could be a problem. Law, where's your example for that? If you reach into your pocket and get a Brandon card for 5 years, how was it? 5 years, $50 million, something like that. Sean Oakman, he's done, man. I don't want. I don't think his commitment of the commitment is there. But I know he was wrongfully or accused of rape or what have you. But I think he still got picked up. That happened many of years ago. I need guys that's just willing to play now. We can't win this thing with spare parts, man. I mean, you got $53 million. That's enough money to do a lot of stuff. Cowboys Crunk said, did we trade Ross? Or could we trade for Ross? You talking about John Ross, right? Only way we can go get a John Ross will be this right here. If we decide to say to ourselves what the Bengals are willing to get rid of him for. You know, what can you find a way to get John Ross on his team for? Is it a 4th round draft pick, or is it a 3rd round draft pick? Is it a 5th round draft pick? To me personally, we need some favor to come our way. Hopefully the Cincinnati Bengals say to themselves, you know what? We want to get rid of him regardless, and we fool around and pick him up for like a 6th or a 7th round draft pick, and then we can throw some conditionings in on there. Meaning that we can throw in the fact that it can be, if he plays 16 weeks or if he catch 50 receptions, then we give you a conditional 3rd or 4th. That's the type of negotiation deal I would make for the John Ross. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Yeah, there's some fast receivers in the draft. There are. Let's look at this real quick. Look at our current roster and see what receiver we would try to lose around to pick up this guy. Think about this. Think about this right here. And I love these little topics right here. Who's going to beat out Amari Cooper? No one. Who's going to beat out the young emerging Michael Gallup? Nobody. Coming out of this draft, because they got to pick up this offense. Who's going to beat out I guess the Cole Beasley? He's still on his team for right now, until they find out a way whether or not they're going to cut him or keep him, or he's going to negotiate and take less money. This team, Cedric Wilson. Then you also have the quote-unquote Noah Brown. Those are our wide receiver core right now. Did I leave out somebody? Sam Hurd. They decided they're going to keep him. That's another guy that they thinking that he's going to be ready about midway through the season. So what we got to look for out of a receiver, it's going to take 1 to maybe 2 years to develop. I do know that Michael Gallup found a way to turn the corner, and he's a third-round draft pick.
It's about laying a foundation to be able to create change. And
I don't think that they're going to invest in their second and third round on a wide receiver. I think that they're going to look at something to better their best, and that's going to fall in lines. They're really going to fall in lines of a defensive player. I really think so. I really do think so that they're going to get a defensive guy in the second round. I really do. Let's see what's got here. Armstrong played well. Played pretty good. Yeah, he did. Armstrong did play well. Chances of getting the top defensive player in the second round. I mean, if they slide, if they drop, I think so. I like the Dexter Lawrence kid. I like what he can do out there on the field. Is Jalen Hurd, wide receiver Bailey. He plays wide receiver, running back, and slot. 6'4", 230 pounds. Yeah. All right, let's look at it. Last year, who we drafted? We drafted a linebacker, right? Defense with the first pick that we had. Year before that, who we drafted? Taco, right? Defense. The year before Taco, who did we draft? Who did we draft the year before that, man? Y'all help me out. Another defensive guy, right? There's a pattern going on. There's a pattern going on. The only people that we draft in these drafts are offensive linemen in the first round. And I know we don't have a first round draft pick, but I think everything kilters and slides up. Defense. I think somebody got into Jerry Jones' ear and Stephen Jones' ear and Will McClay and said, hey, defense win championships. Let's draft up a gang of defensive guys. And then on the later rounds, let's bargain. DK Metcalf. He ain't no way in the world he gonna fall out of the first. No way. Just after Ezekiel Elliott in 2016, right before 16, who we drafted in 15? Byram. Right before 14, we drafted who? We made a draft move for offensive lineman. So right before the end, we drafted who? Offense, right? Now, when you guys go back and listen to what they had to say about Ezekiel Elliott, when they drafted him, pull up the tapes, you're going to hear a lot. Travis, yeah, so offensive line, defense. Of course, I missed out Ezekiel Elliott. But when you look at it, when you talk about Ezekiel Elliott, what did they was talking about? When they drafted Ezekiel Elliott, what were they talking about? He would help out what? He would help out the defense. Because at the time of possession, they saw what worked with Murray. They saw what it worked out with Murray running the ball, keeping time of possession. And it's a clever idea because I think the NFL was not hip to the game about the time of possession, about controlling the clock and keeping the defense fresh. And then you have a running back that can just keep the ball, keep the possessive with them. And then also with clock management. We saw with DeMarco Murray how beneficial it was to keep the time of possession on the field. Yeah, there's a lot of off the field stuff. Yeah, I know how that go.
Okay, Cowboys gave up $12 million to come back at $3.5 million.
Let me see.
Is that how much ESPN was paying him? Wait a minute.
Look at that dude right here.
Now I'm pissed. For 12? Damn, the Cowboys. And you know, hey, it was guaranteed.
He talking about
Cowboys. You know what else?
y'all hear that?
Wow. The Twitter fire he was getting during the game.
Old boy talking about Jason Witt.
But all he has.
Let me rewind a little bit. Ain't wrong for this, man. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this right quick.
Maybe there was a surprise coming our
Oh,
way
no,
here.
there's not no surprise. I'm actually good on TV.
Look, they asked Steve Smith, will he come back to play, or was he able to come back to play, opposed to
Looked at it. I said, let's give it a try.
There you go.
So he's good.
Your agent knows how to motivate.
Derek Fox, my agent, he was my football agent now, one of my good friends, because I don't play football anymore.
I don't know. Jason Witten came back. Steve, any thoughts?
You want the truth about that, or you want me to let that go?
I want the truth.
Y'all hear that?
No, about you, not Witten.
Oh, okay. No, I'm good.
That's what he meant.
Oh, okay.
I thought Steve was telling me maybe there was a surprise coming our
Oh,
way
no,
here.
there's not no surprise.
That boy
I'm actually
catching
good on
that.
TV, so I'm just going to stay here. Sorry.
I tried to say I was.
Steve Smith said he actually good on TV. It's crazy, right? All right, guys, that's pretty much, man. I'm gonna be on out of here, man. I'm gonna do some more evaluations of players, see what we can look at. Left. We gonna get it right, man. We gonna get it right, Cowboy Nation. I'm gonna read this question before I go, man. Let me see what you said. Also drafting O'Shane. Third and fourth. Trayvon Williams. I'll give y'all my thoughts on those guys a little later on, man. Really appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let people know where they can go to listen to Cowboys information. And we'll be back at this thing one way or another. Salute. I'm out. Peace.